thirsty, Tifa. But hey everyone, and welcome back to another FGO Thirstday. And we have here Sakata Kintoki the Golden Boy, which is the name of an anime as well, which is pretty funky, I will say. It's a bit weird, but it's pretty fun as well. aka obligatory golden joke here. Edit 1. Gonna try full on into making Thursday into Wednesday, so we call it Wednesday instead. He's off through it, better like... Yeah, you think you can fool me? This is the face of an unfoolable boy, I'm just saying. Well, maybe I should have some lewd program on Wednesday, so we can call it Wednesday instead. I don't know what that would be. Striptease? That's more horror show than anything. Ah, yes, Kintoki and his red arm on masturbation. And I'm pretty fucking sure he had bigger boobs than many female characters. Because, damn. Them pictorial muscles, man. A historical fact, Japan lawful good. Berserker. Lawful good? And to be fair, I honestly don't know much about Kintoki, so this is gonna be interesting actually. I mean, I do obviously know him from FGO and all of that, and I think, if I don't remember wrong, Kintoki Rider was the very first welfare servant I got, I think. I think it was at least the first event I played on, at least. Strength A, plot aim, Constitution B, Agility B, Magic Luck NPC. For come. Yusa Koji also was Kintoki Rider. What? I could never have guessed. And Karna. Maddenhouse met E. Damn, that's pretty low. Retain normal capacity to think, but the benefits of status boosts are not received. A luck check is performed whenever he receives damage. When the check fail occurs, all status except magic and luck will rise. In exchange, he will go berserk and become wild. Upon being mad enhanced, his whole body become completely red. Anger gauge max. What? So he can... Wait, so he could turn completely red? Nani? That would be interesting to see. I mean, his arms are very red, but the rest of him... that would be interesting to see. You know? Divinity D, the fairy is which state is a child of Raijin, the god of thunder. Yeah, that makes sense. Raijin, yeah. Born from Izanagi's corpse alongside his brother, also gods. Interesting to note, the Mongol invasion defeat was attributed to him in the legend. He is also called as Kaminari-sama, Raiden-sama, Narukami, and Raiko. Raiko. Oh yeah, that makes sense, because I do remember we're watching... the history of Japan or something like that, or whatever it was called, that little vid, and the Mongolians tried to invade Japan like 3 times or something like that, and always were defeated by storms. Yeah, so no wonder they are like, oh, you know what, Raijin, you're our boy up there. Monster Strength A+, ranks up his strength perimeters. While original is skill possessed by a monster, as Kintoki is a shell of Raijin as a red dragon and the cannibal Yamauba. Cannibal? He displayed a high rank by carrying the former skills to the extreme. Nani? Footnote, Wikipedia says that Yamauba got impregnated by a clap of thunder sent by a red dragon. What? Dude, that sounds like something Zeus would do, like... clap of thunder. More like a clap of dick. Are you hearing me, guys? And cannibal? Man, they should make him a cannibal. You know, he go around eating people. Dude, and they made First Asan eating monsters? Fuck that. I could see Kintoki do that now. Like, that would be weird. Innate fitness A. Born with a perfect golden body as a life form. Plus correction is bestowed to his strength. Animal dialogue C. Enable mutual understanding with animals that don't possess language. Does it mean for humans too? Because after all, humans are animals. I mean, not an cow animal, but we are still within the animal kingdom, so to speak. So if there's a human that can't speak, he should be able to communicate with them. That's pretty cool. Gold Eater. I know Goldfinger, but Gold Eater and Soul Eater I know as well. But the Golden Eater. The true name of his noble phantom is probably not this. It's definitely not this, but it's invoked with such a name, unreasonably golden. What is up with him and gold? Actually, I mean, he's from watching and playing the game for a couple of years now and all of that, I have come to the conclusion that he seemed to like gold. I'm not sure why. And to be fair, I like silver more, but that's just me. And Masakiri, what is axe? Imbued with the power of raging, it has such a weight in which it certainly can be lifted without Kintoki's monstrous strength. Its destruction power rises through the explosion of his lightning-loaded cartridges. The destructiveness varies depending on the number of cartridges used. Maximum is 15. Sometimes jamming would occur. Dude, that sounds actually really cool. More details can be seen in the illustration reference. Its shape is probably not like this originally. Unreasonable golden. It is used in Fate Go, but its true name release is not employed. I'm curious. I mean, where do I load the cartridges? I guess around there somewhere with the just behind the blade, because it seems like you can take like. That's pretty funky. Is it like a gunblade, but then shotgun axe or something like that? Shot axe? That would be cool. And considering how fucking heavy must it be if you literally need like strength A+ or to lift it. God damn. That's something insane. Golden Spark, Gold Impact. Oh, that's the right one. Golden Spark. Lightning is generated from the Masakiri to mow down the target. 3 cartridges expand for the use of this noble phantom. It is used as an anti-unit attack in Fate Go. So it's not the one in the motorcycle, is it? I thought it was that one. Okay. But first person... Itchy. A. Personality, a rowdy, overbearing, and dangerous man. In fact, he's a compassionate and righteous person. That is the impression given off by the brat who has grown up staying the way he is. His mental is that of a first grade elementary. What? So he's literally like a kid? Wow, that's... So he's just literally a big man, baby. Is that what he is? Impulsive and passionate, weak to feelings and easily moved to tears. He's particularly kind to mothers and children. His lives matters not if it's for sake protecting the children and their mothers. That doesn't sound bad. That doesn't sound like bad stuff, actually. I'm like that. I'm very weak to feelings and I move to tears. You guys know that. I cry fucking every time. Well, not every time, but most of the time. Due to being summoned in the present world, it is completely died by its nature. Like, he's completely died by its... Does he mean the hair or what? What? Completely died? What? What do you mean by that? Likes flashy things, shining things, and especially gold. He super likes it. Yeah, we get it. He's like a crow. He likes shiny things. Somehow I could see him like, it is time to... Ooh, shiny. He's literally a himbo. He's literally the FGO world of a himbo. Dude, no one can convince me otherwise. He even have the haircut of a himbo. I'm just saying. Dude, he's like Johnny Bravo with an axe and doesn't try to flirt with everyone, but they are as stupid as both. His catchphrases are gold and golden. Those are the words lauded from his heart. Like strong things, big things, cool things, adorable things, and so on. How to say it? He's childish. I mean, so am I. But at least I'm not mentally of a first grader, because I make a lot of dick jokes. He's actually painful weak to love affair. He's great. I mean, I will admit, I am weak for that kind of stuff too. I love romantic stuff and all of that. I think, gosh, you know, when I'm reading like an action series, manga or something like that, I'm like, man, I hope there is some romance somewhere in this. I like that. He a late bloom in the sense that he's unable to insofar make eye contact with the girl he likes. Yeah, apparently insofar is a word just learned. Insofar? Is that actually a word? I actually read it like Infowars, and I was like, ew, that's yeah. But insofar, that sounds like a fucking sex move. What are you doing? Insofar. He more than avert his eye when meeting a girl with lots of skin exposure. He is angry. Actually, just averted his eye to embarrassment. Well, I mean, I can relate to that. He's a sweet tooth who's bad with alcohol. There was a time where he ate a Kintaro ame without letting it melt in his mouth. What? Kintaro ame, a cylindrical sculpted candy who upon being sliced showed Kintaro's face in a cross section. What is that actually? That sounds like a very, very fun candy. I would like to try it out. Don't crunch it. Well, I will crunch it. He fell in love at first sight with a teddy bear. What golden loveliness. That's kind of cute, actually. So anyway, I am very relatable to this big dude, except that he's way more rocking body than I will ever have, and I at least is not considered a first grader. I am, well, how old was I last time? I was like a fetus, something like that. I'm even younger. I'm a big child of my heart. Motivation attitude towards master. I never seen things like the Holy Grail, but it's that, yeah? It's gold, right? Then it can't be a bad thing. Its content aside, its appearance is definitely awesome. Is his ostensible reasoning? How bad can... Oh man, he would fucking orgasm if you saw Gilgamesh. Like, oh, it's so golden! Ah! And Gilgamesh is like, ooh, what's wrong with you? Golden summer. But the truth is, he has a reason for seeking the Grail. That is to revive Shuten Doji. But Shuten Doji is... I have Shuten Doji. A member of Minamoto Raika's own extermination squad, they helped the weak and crushed evil. Truly exemplar of justice. Even though they said it was the Oni or Tsushigumo who is the lit spark, in reality it was a pretense maintained by the government in order to deal with meddlesome lot. Tsushigumo? Isn't that like a spider demon? Or something else? Because I do... I can't remember. Moreover, they had employed a foul trick on Shurendoi that was conducted far detached from Kintoki's idea of justice. Hence, he yearns to at very least, just once, fight against Shurendoi fair and square. Because he frankly socialized with the master, he has extraordinarily good affinity with the type who pursue equal relationship. In reverse, his affinity with the type who hurts women and shit is lethally bad. He is the perfect protagonist type. Dude, I mean, he even have the perfect hair for being a hentai protagonist. I'm just saying. He can take that role as well. Okay, so that is why you want to revive Shuden Doji, but why you do that? I mean, you have literally met her as a servant now, so that sounds like... I mean, I guess it's more the principle of things like, aha, I want to revive you so I can kill you, ha! Well, in a fair fight, hopefully at least, haha. Speed checks him.
Ooh, I'm in your care. Sorry, but I'm gonna go crashing here for a while. Call me cold.
Okay. I just imagine being slightly speech impaired and stuff like that because of that. I got no sympathy for villains. Ain't this rocks? I've taken a liking to ya, chief. You may be an enemy, but ain't ya golden? Quill the evil Oni, beat him down the Raksasa shine. Masakari golden. Get blown away, Hisatsu. Golden spark. I just imagine him be the baseball like, dude, that would... One blow annihilation. Yeah, that what she did. Now I would actually like a baseball skin for Kintoki. Home run! Historical figure. Sakato Kintoki, one of the members of Minamoto Raiko, Heian period's strongest mystery killers. Shitano. Four Heavenly Kings. Oh, yeah, I mean, you always hear about the Four Heavenly Kings in most mangas and stuff like that. Well known by his child named Kintaro. While living with his mother in Mount Ashigara, he was found by Raiko and became his retainer. Had participated in the extermination of Mount Ua's Shudendoi, but disguising himself as a monk, he struck down Shudendoi after making the later drank spiked sake. That doesn't sound very golden. It's also a Buddhist term which represents 4 deities governing each cardinal direction. Suzaku, Byako, Seiru, and Genbu for the Japanese version of it. Okay, that's pretty neat, Fate Go. Kintoki is the child of Raijin as a red dragon. His mother is the cannibalistic Yamauba, living in the mountain Ashigara. Yamauba. That was weird. I just imagine him eating people now. Having inherited the power of monster, he had fought against the mountain beasts and killed them. Eventually, his female-only mother was vanquished by Usui Sadamutsu. A member of Shitano, his weapon is a lance. Oh. Kintoki was adopted by Minamoto Raiko, was taught the way of man, and became the latest retainer. Yeah, and Raiko, Mama Raiko! Due to being born with blonde hair and blue eyes, he was feared as a child of an Oni wherever he went. But thanks to his positive and Raiko's guidance, he was able to grow into a splendid warrior. Eventually, he would participate in many Oni extermination quests as a member of Raiko's Shitano. I do not shit you at all. Okay, it's a shit joke. And then he encountered Shudendoi in Mount Oh. His outrageous appearance that is so much unlike a hero due is being died. He's being died by the present word upon his summoning. At first he's embarrassed by the name Kintoki, but upon knowing the wonderful ring of golden, he became poisoned by Western culture. Poisoned? Ah well, I guess I am poisoned. He loves strong things, big things, and cool things. His mentality is that of a first-grade elementary school student, weak to love affairs, changing topic, but his favorite apple is golden delicious. I'm still, like, literally, his mentality is that of a first-grade elementary student. And I mean, weak for love affairs. Am I the one that found it slightly bit weird? I mean, how many, like, first-grade elementary school students are interested in romance? And not too many, I think. And I know, at least I did it. I was like, ew, ick. I just think that is a bit weird. But other than that, that is actually pretty interesting. I mean, I don't know much about Kintoki in general, so this is actually interesting to read about. And become a poison by Western culture, yeah. We are a bit poisonous, aren't we? Favorite dog, golden retriever. Favorite dog, golden week. Relation. Oh, you're a super cool man. Golden as a person. Oh yeah. God, you're without doubt the true golden king. Ah, golden. Oh yeah. That's so fitting. Artoria, aided by Excalibur golden splendor. Oh, what a golden flash. That's the golden rainbow that cleaves apart the dark night. You're truly without doubt the knight of gold. He seemed to have a thing for the gold, definitely. A relation Frankenstein etched by between lightning and electricity. Frankenstein is irritated by his wasteful manner of dispersing electricity. Also due to her characteristics of monster girl and forbidden love, Kintoki probably sees as an image of Shudendoi in her. Aww. Somehow I could see Fran and Kintoki as good friends, because, well, both are berserkers, both are, well, I would say apparently slightly mental inefficient in ways, because, you know, well, they are berserkers and other things. So, yeah. Nicholas says, to be frank, this relationship is forced upon up by the latter. To Kintoki is a fitting opponent for a contest of strength. But the way he constantly meddles with him is troublesome. Shouldn't know you. They had shared a deep history in the previous lives. Question marks? Minamoto Raiko, they have shared a deep history in the previous lives. Being his lord, Raiko is also acted as his parent. There was a time when Kintoki considered Vlad as his step-parent upon leaving the mountain. However, question mark? What? Okay. I don't know sure about the question marks, but I'm gonna roll with that. Comment from the illustrator. His design has been done for quite a long time, and we finally got to see Kintoki-san in Fate Go. It's been a long time coming, but it was worth the wait. I am very grateful to give an opportunity to work with such a charming character. I hope people are able to like the mischievous Kintoki who tend to play pranks, and the cool Kintoki when he's serious. I will be really happy if they do. Someday I want to try drawing Kintoki-san choosing sweet together with neighbor children in the gashi store as he melts into the downtown night. Aw, that I could actually see that. That's kind of cute actually. And Tato. I gotta see. Oh, he brought a lot here. The translator kept Raiko and Shudo's gender as neutral as possible because at the time we don't know whether they're male or female. FGO fandom usually a problem. Yeah, I guess so. The sheet note reminds me of a manga anime, but I can't remember the name. I think it was an isekai in which two female friends were sucked into a book. Can't remember part and they say what kind of priest of the creatures. Susaku, Byako, Gemba, Seiryu. Was that it, or am I misremembering? I hope it rings a bell to someone. I mean, that thing that's sucked into books sounds kind of familiar. Well. Hopefully someone remembers it. I really like the story, but I never got to buy the last volume and read them. Anyway, I'm a neutral toward Kintoki, but I do like him quite a bit as a character. His interactions are fun. The in FGO section is basically a historical depiction section, lol. Yes. Between can anyone explain to me why a staff has monster strength skill if it's a skill reserved to monsters? Must be some mention to his legend I'm not aware of, but I'm very curious. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, that's pretty curious, but isn't it because Astolfo literally have no reasoning, so he's like monstrous in that regard, like, but you're like, hey, he feel nothing. I would say I like Kintoki, especially, I like him more now, actually. I think he's genuinely pretty interesting and it seems to be a pretty nice character. Even if I don't feel like his design maybe the absolute best, and I do wonder why he's have a child's mind like that. It's a bit weird, but other than that, I think he's pretty neat character, actually. I think it's pretty fun to see him in the game and how he acts around people and all of that. So yeah, definitely a good character. Not the best maybe, but I think he's pretty good. He's pretty golden. He get a gold star from me, so he's happy. And next is Vlad 3, everyone's favorite uncle. Who else is in the Lancer Vlad is cooler gang? Do you mean this Lancer as in Fate Apocrypha, or do you mean Lancer Vlad in FGO? On this Berserk? I that is so confusing why they needed to do that. Oh, I mean, he looks literally as he was just moments before. Excuse me, I was just busy recording for Castlevania 52. You know, they needed the Dracula, of course. He's definitely been from... Yep, he have a very small head here, doesn't he? Am I the only one that thinks that? He's so insanely tall and thin, and then his head is like, poof, super small. Maybe it's just me. Oh, look, he have pointy ears. That's pretty interesting. I really love when you get to see the details in the design, stuff like this. I think it's really cool. Berserker, Dracula, Romania, Celtic Evil. Yeah. Strength A, Endurance A, LGC, Mana B, Luck E, and Luke, MPA. Mad Enhancement EX. He's gone mad, yet his faults are clear. Even his wishes to the grave remains unchanged. This makes him somewhat of an unusual berserker. However, this is because he fights while accepting his vampiric abilities, which is the biggest abnormality to someone like Vlad. I mean, he is the Vlad. He's the face. He's the one that gave, well, inspiration to Dracula. Blood-sucking A. Porn star. One of Vlad's vampiric abilities. He can turn others into slaves by sucking their bloods. The one who has their blood sucked enters a state of living in death. That's so weird. Living in death, I mean, either you're dead or alive. And usually obeys whoever sucked their blood. Oh man, so if I suck someone's blood, they obey me? No. Doesn't that mean if a vampire, like, you know, oh no, I cut myself on the paper. I need to obey myself. Something like that. Can't they do that, like, be confident, be confident. That would be fantastic if you could do that. Then I'll be vampire at any second. Also, since this counts not as an attack but rather a show of a fiction, it cannot be defended against even if you possess a body which rejects all attacks. Basically, I'm referring to a killer's ability, though it might apply to others. Just remember a creeper fight versus vampire Vlad. I honestly don't remember. I really need to rewatch it. But okay, so you can't even defend against it? That is pretty insane. Shape-shifting cook. One of Vlad's One of Vlad's vampiric abilities. He can transform into mist or countless bats. It's extremely useful while fighting at melee range, but it's not so much against attacks which cover a wide area. Dude, I just imagine either a spooky mist or a countless amount of super cute bats. I mean, have you seen bats? They are super cute. I mean, some are ugly, but then again, so are babies. Some are cute, but some are really ugly. I'm just saying. Battle Continuation A. One of Vlad's vampiric abilities. He does not know when to give up. Yeah, I guess he doesn't. Can fight even after sustain a fatal wound. He performs receiving no penalty regardless of the state of his body. Except a stake to his heart. I assume. At least. Noble Phantoms, Cassically Bay, Bloodstained King Demon. The translator didn't put the text following Cassically Bay, so borrowed. Okay, well, that's nice. I'm good. Borrowed it. Borrow it? Yes, you give the name back. Rank C+, maximum target 1, Cassically Bay. A noble phantom that carries a different effect when used in other class. What? I didn't know that. That lets out stakes form inside the body. Other than wood, the stake can also be made of bone, flesh, blood, hair, shadow. What? It's also possible to attract objects within range and turn them into stakes. Aha! His mistakes. Vampire joke. The origination of the novel phantom is anti-armor and is based on the legend of impaled armor found by Mehmed II. In this case, the range of the noble phantom is extremely wide and is capable of creating and manipulate countless stakes. Honestly, yeah, it's pretty insane actually. The noble phantom doesn't reach that level, but it's still powerful enough to annihilate a single servant. I mean, I do not want to even think how it must felt for the people that was impaled like that. My God, how are humans so very good at coming up with these kind of things? My fucking God. Legend of Dracula, rank A+. Legend of Dracula allows Vlad to transform into vampire Dracula from the tales spread after his death. By transforming into Dracula, Vlad loses other noble phantasms and skills, but gains an enormous boost to his physical abilities. The ability to transform into mist and animals, self-healing and charming mystic eyes. However, he also gain a weakness to sunlight and holiness. Oh no! Holy diver! This noble phantom is always in effect when Vlad is summoned as a berserk, so his name is never called out in FGO. Oh, okay. Legend of Dracula. Profile. Personality. Since he used to be a ruler, he's somewhat of a stern attitude, and he hasn't changed much even after becoming a berserker. Even as a vampire, he hates the concept of vampires and wished for the great to eliminate the legend of Dracula that has tarnished his name. Wow, that's a lot of personality we got there. Massive. Motivation attitude towards master. Since he was a ruler akin to a tyrant, he has somewhat of a haughty attitude. He treats his master as one of his retainers. On the other hand, if one is faithful to him, he gets pretty roused up by trying to respond to your loyalty. Now, that's pretty neat. But, yeah. I mean, I feel like sometimes, like, well, we got much there about him. Phrases. Let the blood of vows flow and offer it to me. Very well, girl. If that's what you wish, I can teach you later. Now, an embroidered patch of prayer from the Lord would sure fit master's clothes right. You there, do you wish to live eternally at my side? Eternity is quite boring, you see. But someone like you at my side, I wouldn't be bored anymore. Yes. Oh, gosh. Biography. Vlad is one of the greatest heroes of Romania, his most famous deed being repelling Mehmed II. Even Mehmed II, who has used tactics such as moving ships through land and had overthrown the Byzantine Empire, couldn't stand up against a demon who put impaled enemy soldiers for show. Then he became known as a hero in Western Europe and is the embodiment of evil in Western Europe. Vlad could have disappeared in history as just a hero of a small country, with him not gaining global fame. But since he was used as a model for Bram Stoker's Dracula, his fame suddenly exploded. But he was not famous as the hero who defeated Mehmed II, but rather he became famous as the vampire of calamity that appeared in Dracula, Count Dracula. Aye. Furthermore, when being summoned as Berserk and not as a Lancer, Vlad is summoned as a vampire, not as a hero. That is his current state. He's a monster that sucks blood, transforms into mist and bats, and destroys enemy with the stakes made inside his body. I shall slay you by my mistakes. Or I'm gonna make you good steaks, you die of happiness and fulfillment and no longer hungry. It seems embroidery was one of his hobbies in life, and even as a berserker he retained his skill. Dude, I can imagine that now. Apparently uses it to make stuff for fun on his free time. Thanks to his man enhancement, he has accepted his status as a vampire, but his wish for the great to eliminate his fame as a vampire remains the same. Dude, I just can imagine like...
Shit, it's him. Dracula.
He doing embroidery. I can see that. That's pretty fun. He doesn't mind being feared nor hated. He fought with his authority for his people and impaled soldiers to drive off enemies. A strict rule, merciless judgment. It would be normal for him to be accused for those things. But Vlad couldn't stand being despised as a monster he has no memory of, I can't read, and his own self being forgotten in its shadow. No matter how many times he defeated Holy Grail, he will not give up. I mean, hey Shang-Li, are you here? Yeah, I'm reading about Dracula, about Vlad. While his body burned with rage against ignorance, he will not stop fighting until he comes across the one who recognizes him as a hero. That sounds nice. Related characters, Carmilla, as another person who has also been recognized as a vampire, he feels pity seeing her proactively proclaim herself as one. Elizabeth, contrary to Carmilla, Liz rejects her future while treasuring her past, which Vlad finds charming. Also, what is an idol? Yeah, of course you will find that bit charming. I mean, well, at least he doesn't. At least they haven't added Nero a bit randomly, like, I am Dracula. Oh, Nero, I love Nero. Nero's the best. I'm not worthy. Illustration comments. This is Vlad, given that the image of the Impaled Count and Dracula, he was designed so that he's not only scary but also dignified and refined. Since at first it was designed with a high 3D usage for the head and body, I thought about the cloth movement would look cool. After that I dared to want to put in a kimono turtleneck skirt and intend to try off a spine pattern on the coat. Would be accepted when making it a 3D character as well. But I was trying to add nonsense resembling the face of people suffering of Rorschach patterns. Or Rorschach. The ink blob that's... Yeah, I do remember that. Since Vlad's original image was an image with many curvilinear patterns. I include design with large parts of rectangular elements and Asian nuance in order to not get too much into that atmosphere. What? Okay. Oh, Potato, what do you write, my good sir? He is somewhat an unusual bird because he can talk despite being little do you know that all berserkers are high manners and housemen and some bullshit reason to talk and beg for your attention toward a cute wife of berserker. Sorry, Uncle Vlad, you're no longer spare. Well, that is true. I'm half here, but don't you think that particular piece of information didn't age well? Yeah, I do agree. Then again, if all were Minecraft screaming Zerg, many characters might have lost their depth since they can't really play the Hercule Lubu card that many times. What are you doing, Shanley? Me protect master because me master of some mad bird. So having them talk would eventually become a necessity. I don't mean to make a little of any circle, mind you, and hope that I don't mean as conveyed. I also understand that him being to talk is not the only reason that he's mentioned as being an unusual berserker, but that is also what a commonplace in recent editions. All berserkers have their own worth, except if Blackbeard Berserker if shop us, then we can give him a circle and move on to different class, boys. I want Blackbeard Berserker. I think I babbled too much, so let's move on to what Lankan thinks. I don't think, I only feel. But Vlad in general, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I do like him in the Fade Up Crifa. He was pretty bonkers there. So it's pretty interesting to see him in the game, actually. Even if I haven't really used him. And I do feel like, as Potato mentioned, that him being able to talk and all of that, even with mad enhancement, is not really unique today. Because most berserkers that have added recent years literally are able to speak. Because, you know, it's not much of a waifu if they just screams at you. I mean, even Fran that doesn't speak, they manage to make cute. So, yeah. But Vlad in general, I actually I would actually like him this one as a Lancer. Because how he is in the anime. But then again, he is here in the form of Dracula rather than, you know, Lancer. So that's pretty interesting. And I would like to see him a bit more in the game. I think that would be really interesting. So I do hope we get to see that. And yeah, I mean, the legends about Vlad obviously is pretty freaking massive. So I would like to see more of him in the game and also. But well, that is my short thoughts, and I'm sorry if it's a bit short because I'm dying again because the heat is. What the fuck is wrong with the weather? I want fall. I don't want summer anymore. I'm tired of it. But I kind of like the spine thing looking design there. It's pretty neat. But yes, I will be back though with more FGO Thirstday next week. So thank you for watching. See you later on, and have a continued super great day.